Ralph, let's get into the first product,
Yeah.
which is the most common one that we have, which are behind me, and then obviously you have a couple samples here. What are these?
So these are hexagonal acoustic panels, and what they do, bro, is that, like I said, you strategically put them on the wall. Some of them have adhesive on them already, and you just basically take the plastic off and you just adhese it off. Some of them don't have adhesive, and you have to buy the adhesive glue, and you put them on there, and then you just put them on your wall.
Buy these, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yes.
About $25, you get a 12-pack of these guys.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah.
And they do, you know, they can cover a pretty significant part of your wall. I think for this pattern behind me, I think I got maybe 3 sets. So about $75-ish or $80 with tax or whatever. That's how much it took to make this kind of this fake wall, or whatever you want to call it. All right, Ralph, well, not all acoustic panels come in the same shape.
Absolutely.
These are just your standard hexagon pattern. What are some other ones that you have, for example?
Other ones that I have, I will grab it right now. Actually, it's called a bass trap, bro. And this actually goes in the corner of your room. And what this does, it actually reduces the felt bass in the room. So if there is any extra, super bass in your room, it's really bassy, especially in the corners. This will actually help decrease that extra bass in your room and focus more on the listener. That's the purpose of what a bass trap does.
Yeah, and they're a lot, you can see here, they're a lot thicker. They're more of like that foam. The ones that we showed here, these acoustic panels, they're pretty hard.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of squishiness to it. So I would say that from the two, these are probably gonna hold or absorb the sound much better,
Yes.
just because of that, that classic foam.
Yeah.
So if you're really looking to cut the most noise, I would go with something more foam like this, as opposed to the acoustic panels. All right, Ralph, so those are a couple of examples that we want to provide. Is there any other kind of acoustic panels that people could look for?
I mean, there's a lot of them. You don't have to get hexagonal shape. They actually come in squares, 12 by 12s. There's ones that are actually a lot bigger and a lot thicker and stuff like that. It just depends on the room acoustics. Like I said, if there's too much echoiness, obviously the thicker the acoustic panel, the more absorbs the sound, and there's less echoiness in the room. Another thing to consider too, these they reduce a lot of reverberation because it absorbs a lot of the heat when speakers produce the sound, and what it does, it relatively moves, or actually would stow away a lot of that sound away from the wall and towards the listener. So Armando, is there anything that you actually wanted to point out about these acoustic panels?
I would say that these ones particular, what's nice about them is, they don't stick out aesthetically as like the foam panels do, because they're so much thicker.